This is a choux paste for cream puffs. You add half a cup of water, 1½ teaspoons of sugar, a 1/4 cup of butter, which is the same as 4 tablespoons, and a pinch of salt. Heat this over medium-high heat until it starts to simmer. Once the mixture begins to simmer, turn it down to a medium-low heat and add half a cup of flour. Stir this and the flour will start to come away from the sides of the pan. And then you're going to cook it for another minute or two until the extra moisture evaporates. Once the pastry has cooled to the touch for a few minutes, put in 2 large eggs, Once the mixture is combined, we'll put 1-ounce scoops onto parchment paper on a cookie sheet. After the eggs have been thoroughly combined, put scoops onto a parchment-lined cookie sheet, and the dough should be 2 inches apart. Bake the puffs at 425 degrees for 10 minutes. Then reduce the heat to 350 and bake for another 10 to 15 minutes until they're golden brown. Do not open the door the entire time. When the puffs are golden brown, take them out of the oven. And spear each puff in the side so that the steam can escape. This is the pastry cream. Into the pan I will pour 4 ounces of heavy cream, 4 ounces of milk, and I'm going to let that simmer until it gets to around 180 degrees but not over. While I'm waiting for that to heat up, I will prepare my other mixture in another bowl. I already have 3 egg yolks in here. I need 4 egg yolks. So I'll crack them and separate the white from the yolk. So now I have my 4 yolks, and I will add a half cup of sugar, excuse me, a quarter cup of sugar, and stir this for about 30 seconds. We'll set aside our egg whites and we can use those later for another project. In this bowl, I have 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, which is a thickener, and 2 ounces of milk. And this will be used later to thicken the pastry cream. Once the milk and cream has reached around 180 degrees, pour it slowly into the yolk and sugar mixture and keep whisking continuously. When you pour a hot mixture into a room temperature or cold mixture, slowly, it's called tempering. This makes sure that you don't cook your yolk. Once this is all mixed together, I'm going to put it back on the stove. Add in my 2 ounces of milk and my cornstarch. Make sure you get all the cornstarch out of the bottom of the bowl if it's settled. And continue cooking this over a medium heat until it just hits a boil and becomes very thick. You need to continue stirring the whole time. Once it just hits a boil, you can see the bubbles. Once it just hits a boil and starts becoming very thick, immediately turn the heat off. Add the vanilla extract and the butter. 2 tablespoons of butter. And a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and stir that in until the butter is completely melted. This mixture will be covered with plastic wrap, and you put the plastic wrap down tight on the mixture. So it needs to be transferred to a separate bowl. It can't be stored in the saucepans. Transfer it to another bowl, cover it tightly with plastic wrap with the wrap right down on the pastry cream. And of course you'll label this with your period and kitchen, and then refrigerate. For the basic ganache, which is the topping for the cream puffs, pour in 2 ounces of heavy cream. and let that simmer. Then take 2 ounces of bittersweet baking chocolate and just coarsely chop it. And after the heavy cream is to a simmer, you will pour the cream over the chocolate and just let it melt the chocolate for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's simmering. Let this sit for 5 minutes until the chocolate gets to soften up. The ganache can be used immediately or chilled until you need it.